Welcome to Dental Success Beyond Chairside, the podcast that's dedicated to revolutionising the way dental professionals succeed beyond the dental chair. Join us for a unique blend of insightful interviews with industry experts to help you thrive in your dental specialist practice. In each 20-minute episode, we'll delve into a variety of subjects, including HR, marketing, innovative techniques and systems, and AI to help transform your practice and unlock its full potential. Whether you're a dentist or specialist looking to enhance your practice, this podcast is your go-to resource for professional, personal, and profitable success. Hello everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Dental Success Beyond Chairside. What if the right systems could give you the freedom to step back without the chaos? I'm honoured to have our guest, Ange Wall from Optivise Solutions, join us today. Ange, it's so great to have you here.
Thanks so much, Michelle. I feel honoured to be invited.
Well, I appreciate having you as a guest. Thank you. Ange is a systemisation magician, and her passion led her down a path where she saw firsthand how systemising and streamlining operations led to freedom and flexibility. Ange, can you share your story with us, and specifically back to that light bulb moment when you realised the real power of systems? That point where you saw how a simple tool like using videos in your workshop made a huge impact.
Thanks, Michelle. It is a great story to share. As you're aware, I am a co-owner of an automotive workshop in Brisbane that specialises in European vehicles. And you think, systems and mechanics, is that even a thing? 100% it is. What happened for me as I've transitioned out of the business and into my own consulting business was setting up systems to set my team up for success. But as I'm onboarding new team to replace myself, what became clear is the amount of knowledge that still wasn't captured. And what I mean in terms of, we brought in a lovely young lady to the team who has a great skill set, but her background was very niche and ours is very broad. So to learn a new role, to learn the systems, then to learn the variety and diversification of the types of work we do is a lot. So to reduce her onboarding, her training and her knowledge, we introduced a video platform. And originally the video platform in my mind was to assist customers understand why they needed what they needed done on their cars. They felt valued, they understood, and, complements the quote. But really, it actually became a great training tool. It supported her in her learning journey to minimize pushback from customers, to support customers, because we're very big on relationship building in our business. For her to be able to support those customers, she had to have the right tools and the right information. And you can't be with the guys on the floor all the time going, why? What do you mean? Show me what that is. What does it look like? They capture it in a 60-second video to educate the customer. But now she's educated on what it needs, what it looks like. Then the customer has that value of not only the video, but the support of her now when she's explaining it to them. But what we saw transform for her was that she understood. She didn't have to ask questions. She didn't feel like she had to interrupt everybody. So it streamlined our efficiency because we were educating her and the customer at the same time. She went from sort of not sure about the role because there was so much to know to loving her role because a simple system change supported her. Sometimes we focus a lot on culture building and team building and nurturing our team when something's as simple as a system to support them in their role can be so valuable.
But do you agree, Ange, with systems, one of my things is teamwork, clinical excellence and patient experience, and they are all entwined together. If you have the right systems from clinical excellence side of things from your workshop, as you were doing those videos, and then that system helped her learn, but in doing that, by setting up the system, everyone knows what their role is. And then it makes teamwork much easier because you have that standardization, you have that process. It makes a happier team, and then it makes a happier client, patient, customer, whoever you have. And in doing that, you lessen complaints because you've got those systems in place. As you said, in your business with her being able to watch the videos, it happened by accident, didn't it? She started watching the videos and that's how she learned. Is that what happened, Ange?
Something along those lines. So what happened was a team member was away and it was her senior team member. So her backup, her go-to for questions. Yeah. What do you mean? The customer's asking this. They want to know why. She got thrown in the deep end. So the team just produced more videos on everything that they had to upsell is the wrong word. It's ethical upselling, but they just went, she's getting everything across the line because we're doing a video. She was learning on the fly and she had an incredible week. She just felt so empowered in her job now that she didn't need to bother anybody else. She can do it. She's got this. And then she saw, I guess, like you said, that clinical excellence. What did the customers experience? What the customers experience was someone very knowledgeable. They felt confident in saying yes. They felt confident that their car was in safe hands. And then the feedback started coming in. The video is incredible, but the customer service, the communication, because she was very hesitant to reach out and talk to people because she didn't have that system that supported her in a role, that knowledge base. It was really by accident. It really was more initially that the video was for the customer experience, but it really became about the team experience. And now, as we grow and evolve our team, we've got a whole onboarding library to get the next team up to speed even faster.
And I think that that's great. And the power of videos, and I definitely recommend this to practice owners as well, is it's so easy. Everyone has a smartphone now to just video what you're doing, how you're setting up your trays, how you're interacting in your consults, all of that sort of thing is just to video it. It's like a standard operating procedure, but via video. And you have that in your video library. As you said, you've got a whole onboarding library now, obviously with different folders. And so many people, when they want to learn how to do something, they go to YouTube to watch a video. So I think and I was speaking to another advisor on this podcast, and he was saying now we're in a workplace where you've got your young generation to your baby boomers all working in the same workplace. But I think even baby boomers look at YouTube videos to learn how to do things. So it's quite an easy way to do it. So if you can get that library up with videos, that's quite an easy way to set up a standard operating procedure. Do you agree?
100%. Because YouTube is great and we can learn lots there, but how much time do we waste in YouTube finding the right resource when we can create our own library within our own organisation that's specific to us, that not only saves time, but they can relate to it, and it's makes the process more efficient, not only for onboarding, but for ongoing. How many times do we do a process maybe every quarter and we might forget to revisit a video that could be linked to your standard operating procedure? Is invaluable.
I was speaking to a dentist about this and she said, it's just driving me insane because there is quite a high turnover. It has been quite high turnover in the dental industry post-COVID. And she said, I never even thought about just taking a video because I'm having to keep on training and repeating myself and saying the same things. She went in the next day and said, I'm just going to start doing it on video. So I've got everything there. That was that light bulb moment for her as well. With regard to you being a systems magician, what other systems, or I suppose, is it technology, or what are ways that you set up systems as well as videos?
Well, a great way first is to just do a discovery. Look at what you currently have. How old is it? Is it relevant? And where are the gaps? Sometimes starting a new team member is the fastest way to learn where your gaps are. But systems through technology, there really is some shortcuts now for business owners to systemize and document their business with ease. So as we were referencing video, for example, like anyone could download the Loom app on their phone and record what they're doing in their day-to-day business. And if you use the business version that's linked to AI, now it will literally create the SOP document or step-by-step guide or the quality assurance document from your video and it's very close to being done for you. That procrastination of, I don't have time, what would I write? We do it every day, right? So it is hard to take that step back and look from an outsider in. There's technology and platforms that can help you, but having a consultant to guide you, to speed up the process, to ensure it's efficient, to ensure that when we onboard team, it speeds up our team being able to fulfill that role that we've hired them for. There's nothing worse than taking 6 months to get a team member, fully up to speed and working for us. So there's value through technology, but there's also value through guidance and processes just for that identification phase, that process mapping. Also, it's really important to be clear on your goals. What are your business goals? Where do you see this going? There's no point just documenting what you do every day. If you want to, say, in dentistry, increase the number of dentists you have, which will increase the number of patients you have, the system might need to change and be refined. There's a discovery phase, that process identification, which includes identifying your goals. Then there's an implementation phase. Then there's an ongoing phase. So that could be through training, through support, or ongoing mentoring. But you want to regularly review your systems. There's even a system for the system, right? You don't want to write something back today and not look at it again for 5 years.
Yes, and I think that's probably a very relevant point that you made, Ange. Sometimes systems get sent up and then everybody gets busy and then nobody even knows where they're stored and they've just got lost. We decided we were going to do that. We started to do it. We've just gone back to that old way of doing it because you do get busier. When I was looking at your information sheet, you've got your Optivise Solutions, and you were saying you realised that a lot of businesses wanted tailored solutions just for their practice. And that's what I found as well. I know the systems that work in dental practices and dental specialist practices, but then it has to be bespoke to the actual business that you're working with, because the way they do things might operate a little bit differently. So you need to understand what it's going to do and how it's going to work, and then get everybody onboarded onto that process. And as you said, getting a new person on is the easiest way to see where a gap in the system works. I know when I got my receptionist, oh my gosh, we're getting this other receptionist on, you're going to have to do screenshots, blah, 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 blah. She knew it so well that she missed a whole lot of processes. When I was sitting next to the person, it's like, okay, we need to add this. So we need to add that. As you said, Loom's really good. Tango's another one. It actually does screenshots as you're actually working on it. And to have AI like that you're doing what you normally do anyway, you're recording it, which is great. Looking at it and seeing if it works and then seeing where the gaps are. For instance, we set up this system about new patients. They were being booked a long way out. And then people was cancelling because it was booked so far out. It was, okay, we need to change this system. What are we going to do? How are we going to go about it? So it's nice having that one-to-one engagement as well with someone that can help. A consultant can look at doing this. It's that bouncing off what we can do as well. What are your thoughts there, Ange?
In terms of bespoke, I couldn't agree more. So in many businesses, there's pain points, which obviously highlight that there's a gap in the system. Sometimes it's also team performance that brings to the forefront that our systems aren't quite right, because a team member mightn't be fulfilling their role correctly, but have we done everything we can to support them, educate them, and set them up for success? Scaling back to those pain points, it's when we identify the systems aren't right, but the systems aren't right because the team aren't performing. And again, looping back to goal setting, because, okay, we're feeling a bit of pain. We've got, as your example, we've got a lot of cancellations. So what's the solution for this individual business? And that's what's really important with that bespoke approach, is identifying what the pain points are, what the goals are, what technology we can use, and how do we centralize the information so it is used. Again, that bespoke offering or bespoke solution, I guess, because not every business is going to be set up the same way, and you want the team, through systemisation, there's that change management element. So what works best for the team? And how will the team get on board and it not fall to the wayside because it's all too hard?
I think when we're talking about pain points as well, you need to listen to what the customer or the patient's saying, because quite often in practices, you need to look at the feedback from patients and they go, well, what do you mean? And I go, it's not necessarily a complaint. It might be like, oh, it's so annoying. I had to reschedule my appointment and I couldn't get in for a long time. And they're hearing that multiple times a day. from patients. So it's like, okay, well, we need to look at education. We need to look at what we're talking about when we're, speaking to them. What system can we set up? And I think sometimes, as you said, there are those videos, but sometimes it's just setting up a process about how you're going to deal with someone and changing that process to make it work for your business.
Exactly. And that's where that review element comes in as well. There are pain points and we're going to address them and systemize them. But the review, again, hearing the feedback from the customers, what are they noticing? How are they feeling? Are they aware of the changes we've made? Are they loving the changes we've made? Or is there some refinement? There's a continuous review cycle that's really important when we systemize the business.
So, Ange, is there anything else that we haven't covered today that you think is going to be important to our listeners?
I think we've covered the process of all the importance of systemization and the importance of systemizing for the customer perspective, from an onboarding perspective, the team. To ensure our team perform correctly, systemization is really important. The review cycle of those processes, then having that identification through what are our goals, what are the pain points that we're noticing, potentially engaging someone to support us through this journey, and the opportunities that are available through technology. So we're not held back from taking action, because at the end of the day, end result of a systemized business is a highly valuable business. Because we want to set our business up for success and our team and our customer retention, but also we want to add flexibility for ourselves as business owners so we can step away and the wheels keep turning. But we also need to think in the back of our mind, what's our exit strategy?
So it definitely adds value to a practice. And you saw firsthand how you could perhaps just leave your mechanic at the front desk on her own on a Saturday and know that everything was going to be wonderful and the customers were still going to be happy.
But 100%, if someone calls in sick, there's no more need for me to drop whatever it is I've got on to go back and help them. They can handle it all on their own.
That's excellent. Thank you so much for joining us today, Ange. I love chatting with you, sharing your knowledge. Obviously, it's a completely different industry, but we've just realized that it's the same across all industries and across all businesses, adding value to your practice, having a happy team, having happy customers, clients, patients. And obviously, it improves the bottom line because you're not double handling things and everyone knows exactly what they're doing. Thank you so much, Ange. For more information about Ange and her business, please see the social media links in our show notes. Thank you so much, Ange, and have a beautiful day.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us on Dental Success Beyond Chairside. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to our podcast or YouTube channel. Your support helps us keep bringing you valuable insights from experts across the dental industry. Over the next 2 weeks, we're doing something a little different. I'll be diving into practice management systems, helping you make an informed decision about the software that keeps your practice running smoothly. In our next episode, we'll be exploring Dental for Web, Zavvy 360 and Dentally, 3 unique systems used across Australia. If you've ever wondered which platform might be best fit for your practice, this series is for you. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.